Hello, in this video we are going to deploy this Todo app using Amazon Elastic Container Registry and Amazon Elastic Container Service. This app is built around using Node.js and this app is built with Node.js. And here is the app Docker file. From this Docker file you can see we are using Alpine images, Node Alpine images. It will optimize our memory because Alpine images uses less memory, and this app is using port at 8000. To access this app we have to expose our 8000 port. Now we are going to deploy this app. First we are going to launch the EC2 instance. Here you can see I am selecting region as a United States Oregon. All of my services are on the same region or availability zone. Now I'm going to create a new EC2 instance machines. Just click on the launch instance button. Here give your instance a name. I'm going to name it Node 2. Then select your OS. I'm going to use Ubuntu as my OS. Then here you can see instance types is T2 micro Freedom eligibles. I am here using the Freedom eligible account, so I am using T2 micro as my instance types. And here you can create or select a existing key pair. I am going to select a existing key pair Node to do, or you can create a key pair by clicking on this button, create new key pair button, and make sure you select the key file format as a PEM and also give your key pair as a name. Then click on the create key pair button. Then in network settings allow all SSH traffic, and I'm also going to allow all HTTPS and allow HTTP traffic from the internet. And the storage section I am going to keep it at it was. We will not need more than 8 GB memory to deploy our project or for this project. Now launch instance. The time it is taking to launch the instance, we are going to create a Elastic Container Registry, and we are going to create a repository, a public repository on this service. Click on the create button. Here you can see it will immediately take it to the private repository create page. We are going to create a public registry, so we click on the private registry, then it will come as a select the public registry and click on the repository. Then click on create repository and give a name to a repository. I'm going to name it Node Todo. Then give a short description like Node app using Node.js. The architecture types, I'm going to select operating system as a Linux, and I'm going to tick mark all the architectures. Then create the repository. If we click on this repository, Node to repository, here you will see our repository will be empty. Sorry for my internet speed. Here our repository is empty, no image to display. You can push a repository using this command. Click on the view push commands. Here you will be prompted with all the necessary command to push this repository. Here is the make sure you have the install of AWS CLI and Docker to push Into this repository, we must have Docker installs and the AWS CLI configured. Now we are going to launch our EC2 instance. Taking some time because my internet speed is too much slow. Click on the connect buttons. We are going to use the SSH client. I have already installed the. If your case, you must have to give it the permission to the FEM file using these two commands. 3 chmod 4000 not to the PEM, your PEM file name. Now I am going to connect this repository using this command. Copy this command and open the terminal. My FEM file is downloaded on the downloads folder, so I am going to change my directory to the downloads folders. cd to downloads. Yes. Now the server is connected. Here my server is connected with this machine. Now if I, who am I? Ubuntu. Our machine name is Ubuntu. Now we are going to install Docker and the AWS CLI to this machine. First we are going to update all the packages on this machine. So we are going to update all the packages. Sudo update to run multiple commands at a time. Use double ampersand, then write your command. It will take some time to update all the packages and the repository. I have sudo apt upgrade. I mistyped the upgrade command. Sorry for this. Yes. Updated. Now I am going to install Docker to these EC2 instance machines. For installing Docker, type sudo apt install docker. Now if we are type docker ps permission denied because Docker daemon is not under our user group, so we're going to add Docker daemon under our user group using this command sudo user mod then -a Docker and the username. I am passing user as a variable. If in case you don't know your username, you can pass the user as a variable under the $sign. Enter. Now if we tap Docker, yes, is still showing permission denied. We must reboot the machines to make these changes happen. Sudo reboot. It will take some time to reboot the machines. In case I am telling you about the project architectures. From this EC2 instance, we are going to connect our AWS CLI. Then using AWS CLI, after AWS CLI configured, we are going to push our image to the Elastic Container Registries. For this, we have to give some permission to our AWS CLI. We are going to give this permission using IAM. Now let's try to connect it again. Connected again. Now we are going to install the AWS CLI on these machines. First, download the AWS CLI file. I'm going to give you all of this command on my GitHub repository. Install, then unzip it. We need to install the unzip apt package. Shit. Sorry for my net speed. That's why I am making this typing error. It registered too much latency because of my net speed. Now run this command again. Now it will going to unzip all the necessary files. Now if we run this command, our AWS CLI will be installed. Here we can see the version of our AWS CLI, AWS -- version. Here AWS CLI instance clear. Now we are going to clone this repository. The repository we want to deploy. Just come on this repository. My net speed is really slow. Then click on code. Copy. Go on a terminal. Git clone ls. Our node Todo app is created. Now cd to node Todo ls. Here is all our necessary file to deploy this application. Now we must configure our AWS CLI. For this, type this command AWS configure. AWS access key ID. Now how we are going to get our access key ID? Now it's come into our IAM. Under user, create a new user. Name it no Todo. Then click next. Under attach policy, take some now. Next. Okay, my net speed is little slow. Sorry for my internet speed. It is taking more time to load a menu. Create a user. Name it note to do. Then click next. We are going to attach policies. Here is come. We are going to give this user to access to our ECR. ECR. Where is not coming? Type AWS type elastic container, give these accesses. Elastic container register full access, elastic container register public power users, then elastic container register public read only. Give all of these accesses from this attach policy. Then click on create policy. Then click on next. Then create new user. It will create the user. Now what we take, we have to create a access key ID and secret. Create a node to do, create a access key. We are going to create access key ID and secret for the command line CLI. Click on next. Then here is our access key and secret access key. Copy this access key, paste it, then again copy the secret key, default region none, enter. Here our AWS is configured. Now we can push our image to this our elastic container registry repository. For push our image, first copy this command, here login succeeded. If we didn't configure our AWS CLI, we will be not able to log in our elastic container registry. So we must configure our AWS CLI before pushing our image and give the necessary permissions. It is building our images. It will take some time. Now you can check it, Docker. Yes, it will show the images. Sorry, you can check it by Docker images. Here our images is created, not Todo, 70 seconds ago. Sorry. Then tag these images. Just copy this command, follow the step-by-step guide. Then push it. Here now if we refresh this page, we will see our images is pushed on this repository. Here our image is pushed on this repository, or you can check it this image by Docker images. Here is this image. We tagged it using this from AWS. Now we are going to create our ECR. What is ECR? ECR is a service where you can deploy your application and Amazon will take care all of this underlying infrastructure. Like we have to create we have to create a clusters, then we have to define a task, like how the task will execute, how the cluster will behave. Create a clusters. Click on create clusters. Cluster names. Give a cluster name. I'm going to name it after node Todo. Then we have no namespace. Namespace means if you want to run a multiple containers in a same namespace or the cluster in a namespace, then you must choose a namespace. It will help you to maintain your infrastructure. And what infrastructure you want to select? I'm going to select Fargate. It is a serverless. Amazon will handle all of the traffics and all of the things. So I'm going to select Fargate as my infrastructure. Then do I want a monitoring? Yes, I want a monitoring. I want to I want to see what my container is using all the resources. So I'm going to select monitoring as a container inside. Then keep all of it as it was. Encryption don't need. Just click on create button. It will take some time to create the clusters. In this time, we are going to create a task definition. In task definitions, here our cluster is created successfully. We are define the tasks, how many tasks will happen. We are going to define the tasks. Again, sorry for my net speed. It's too much slow. It is taking more times. My Wi-Fi is also slow. My mobile internet is also slow. Here you can see I'm using my mobile internet, but it is also slowing down. Now I'm going to create a new task definition. Click on create a new task definitions. Then node Todo, name it. Here the infrastructure requirements, AWS Fargate, operating system architecture, Linux x84. You can select other architecture as well. Then task size. In my case, I am going to keep it as it was. You can increase or decrease it. You can take the 5 CPU, then 4 GB of memory. I am going to keep it as it is. then container name. Here image URI, repository URI. And now where are we going to find the repository URI? Go to your container repository ECR, then click on view public listings. Here copy this, then paste it. Then we are going to port mapping also 8000, because our app is exposed in port 8000. Protocol none, no need to depend protocol. Here resource allocation limit, in my case we'll keep it to 1 as it was, and total memory hard limit as it was. Then you can see you can edit your, if you have any environment variables, you can add your environment variable also. In my case I don't have any environment variables, so keep it as it was. Then you have you can use log collection using Amazon CloudWatch. We will see it later how we can see our log. Restart policy, health checks optional. You can check the health of your container. No need to configure it, I don't want to do this. Then create. What is called log optional, create. Remove, I don't need an environment variable, sorry. Create, it will create our task definitions. Now in under clusters, if we go in our clusters, you can go under the tasks, run a new task, select task from family. We created it, not Todo, select it. Task definition equation 3, yes 3, task group, capacity strategy provider, you can change it, I don't need to. Capacity provider Fargate, it is Amazon will handle it automatically. Latest version, platform version is latest, our text definition version is latest. Then create. Now AWS will provisioning our requirement. It will take some time. Now AWS is provisioning our, yes, our task is running. Click on this task. Here you can see a public IP. Copy this. Now if we Control V and access, if we want to access our app, we need to go to the port 8000. Here is our app. Look, our app is deployed. Now here you can see we have created the task definitions and run these tasks under the clusters, and we can now access our app. Like hello there, it added hi. we have learned how to deploy application using ECR and ECS. That's all. Look how many services we have used to deploy this application. If I summarize this project, for deploy our registry, to deploy our images to the ECR registry, we use EC2 instance. Then to access our ECR registry, we use AWS CLI to give the necessary permission to our EC2 to give necessary permission to our AWS CLI. We use IAM. Then after we create a clusters in our ECS, Elastic Container Service. Then here we created the task definitions. Then we configure our tasks. Then we run our tasks. Now, if your case the app is not opening on the port 8000, you can edit your end ID. Open a new tab. Network and internet settings, and here you can edit your security groups. Create on security groups. Select your security groups. Then edit inbound rules. Here you can add your port now using add rule button. Delete. In my case, I don't want to do this. I have already defined when I was creating the clusters. That's why I don't need to do this. But if your case the app is not you are not able to accessing the app via the 8000 port, you must edit your inbound rules how I show you. That's all for today's video. Thank you.